I'm a preacher, a leader, and also a teacher. So Talk with Bariledom is a channel to inform people, to educate people, and to enlighten people on things they need to do regarding the Bible and life. So, welcome back to Talk with Bariledom. I've been taking a lot of notes that's going to help me. In fact, my unborn children are going to tell you thank you for being a blessing to their dad, because I've really learned a lot. Me coming up, it wasn't like this. One of the reason why we are having this is so that we will have parents who will give their children the best. We see that parents have a lot to do when it comes to shaping their children, when it comes to helping them, preparing them for purpose. So, like I said earlier, we have the wife of our pastor, um, Mrs. Justin. She just joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's quickly go into the book. Like I said earlier, chapter 1, Elizabeth and her friend lied because the mom was not supporting her dream. So they lied. First, she lied that she was sick. She lied that they were going to school and they went for another training. I know she had this desire. She wants to be a soldier. But let's help Elizabeth and other children that will be reading this book. What is the best approach to do? What is the best approach to take? Is it just to lie and have your way, or there should be a better way that she should have taken that would have helped her not to land where she landed? So she got missing for some days. So chapter 1, she lied. And what what is the best thing that she should have done?
When you see a child lies, it shows the Adamic sin in that child, right? So, and the question you ask is, why should a child lie? A child lies because of the kind of parenting that they are given. So, and a child lies in order to avoid being punished. That's the reason they lie, nothing more. So now, if you have a child that have gotten to an age of reasoning, and no child is actually too young to reason, it's about upbringing. So once a child can talk, even when the child cannot talk, when the child is crawling, you see that the person is trying to do what is not wrong. By the time you spank the person twice, you will not do that kind of a thing again. The child will start avoiding it. So when the child reaches the age of reason, that time now you tell him, say, look, you cannot solve problem with crying again. Let's dialogue about this particular issue. You like it, you don't like it. You understand? So that is it. So Elizabeth and his friend lied because they've seen the stance of their parents, and that they are not going to allow them to join the military. So that is why they try to do the other way. So in this instance now, there's nothing they can do other than that lie. You see them lie because the parents are not open for conversation, and that's what we call passion in children. This is what they want. So it's not every child. If you have more than three children, you understand what I'm talking about. Some will be obedient, some will just be stubborn by default. So it's not everyone that will listen to what you want to say. You say when you are not saying what they want to say, that thing they want to do is what they are going to do it. They are going to do. So you need to adapt to the child's way of behavior. If you know that it's child that can be engaged in dialogue, engage the child in dialogue. Then again, if you know that discipline the child on the right path will work, flogging or any corporal punishment, do it, as long as it's going to give you the result you you desire. And in this case, we are looking at career outlook. So they are lying to their parents, made them to even lie in a greater stage, which is exam malpractices, of which, if they were caught, to be a disgrace for both the parents and the child. So I put the blame on the parents for not creating that space for them to have a heart-to-heart conversation to pursue their career.
Thank you so much.
Like Mr. Ugochukwu said, let me say we Nigerians sometimes the way we train our children is different from the way Americans do, because sometimes even at her age as a mother, I wouldn't want her to make decisions that will cause sorrow. I always want her to make decisions that will bring joy to the family. And sometimes we parents we look at it that okay, she's just a small girl, so she cannot choose by herself. And then let me help her. But at times it's sometimes it's difficult, even when they are making the wrong decision. Like he said, sometimes even we parents we don't give room for open communication, and that affects our children sometimes because let me say sometimes we mother we don't have the patience, and that's why sometimes we prefer other people to train our children because of lack of patience. Do you get? We want at times we want them to learn and to do what we want. We don't even look at their own perspective. We just want because I'm your mother, you have to do what I want you to do or what I tell you to do. But the best option is not to lie. But for me, you get someone who your mom or your parents listen to very well, talk to them, tell them, help me talk to my parents, this is what I want, and they are not seeing it from my own perspective. So help me talk to them if they could consider what I'm about to do. I think from that, the parents will at least listen and then they will give her advice or maybe take the next step that will really help her to do the right thing.
Thank you so much. You are right on point. Your points are concise and they are valid. I think we are going to leave it there, and then we'll get a final thoughts from us. So we've seen that, like Sagochugo has said, children lie because of sin, and also because of the kind of parenting that they are given. So everything is still boiling down to parents creating an environment, and like Mrs. Justin has said, lack of patience also makes parents not to do what they're supposed to do. They want their child to just be what they want them to be, and not getting time to spend with their children. And also, young Elizabeth in the story should have, because I believe that she was in SS, I mean, probably SS2, SS3. So she's a teenager, and then probably she, like what she said, she can actually get to talk to one or two person that can confide with her parents and and talk to them, and then it will be solved. But some of these things we are not taking. And that is why we are doing all this discussion, so that you out there, me that I'm talking to you, will learn from what has happened, so that we can help to be salt and light, of this earth that we are in. Because what are we Christian for if we don't add value to the society that we are in? And one of the way we can add value is to raise up children that will say no to things that are wrong. And parents have a very critical role to play there. The society cannot help us, so parents need to take up their responsibility, to ensure that they are there for their children. And I'm saying that because I know this is also on record for me. If I'm not there for my children, people are going to watch this video and say, Barledo, you make this comment some time ago. So what are you doing? One of the ways that you can actually get to know more things that you should do is to stay tuned to talk with Barledo. Now we're going to get a final thought from everyone that is here.
So this is a very nice talk, dwelling on the career and the role of parents on their children and the like. So I want to encourage the author, Elizabeth, to do more in writing more of this book, because it's a book whose idea has come, and we are looking at a period where parenting is becoming a bigger challenge because of societal pressure. Both mother and father, they run out of the house and they leave their children to the whims and caprices of the society. And especially we urbanites, we don't live in a community setting any longer.
Yeah.
So gone are the days where the community help you to bring up your child. These days, the community will rather abuse your child and even destroy the person's future. Some can even sell your children. So I want you to put on your thinking cap to write on different issues that pertains children the way they are, based on the observation within your immediate environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I feel privileged being a part of this talk with Barry Ledum. So this is something really happening great in our home. Most people feel home is just a building, There's a difference between home and house. So things are nurtured in the homes. Humans' potentials are being built in the home. And our young author decided to touchlight areas that we don't want to talk about that spring up from the home. And homes are made by individuals with their different idiosyncrasies. So when they bring it together, but two things I want us to understand as parents, when our children are about to make decisions, we should make sure we nurture them, make the home conducive for them to air out everything in them, and also spend more time in conversation. There's no parent, no matter how hectic your work is or how busy schedules you have, create that time for your children and speak to them and get to know them and give them the proper environment for them to blossom. Because when they blossom, you also be a thing. You also have a thing of joy in you and also celebrate them in the future. Thank you for making me be a part of this. This book is so brilliant. I can't believe at 12 I can write something like this. It's brilliant. And being a part of this is a blessing. So you've also educated me. I've heard from superiors that they've given me insight on how to make my home better and how to make my children blossom, just like the author wants young Elizabeth to be. Thank you so very much.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation today. But there was one thing that nobody mentioned. Her friend Victoria, she was an instigator. She called her and said, "Let's do this." She called her and said, "Let's do that. Let's go cheat. Let's go get the answers." She was a bad influence on Elizabeth. And we never talked about that. But they're friends. You have to be careful who your children have as friends. Make sure they pick the right friends that are godly like they are, not friends that'll get them into trouble.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barilidun, for this opportunity given to me. It's a honor. And what I have to say here, I would say I'm impressed. That was so thoughtful of you, Elizabeth. I mean, your boldness amazed me. You know, like he said, I don't think, even now, I don't think I would just like sit and bring up something like this. But your boldness and your courage, that is a thing that we parents also need to learn. And I think I've learned today. It's so good for us to make our home comfortable for our children. And as we parents, we are supposed to like be our children's friends, and then we should be their best friends so that they can confide in us. But it is good for them to learn, like they said, charity begins at home. But then if we will not open like room for them to come and where they can discuss with us, and then we are friends, it will be difficult for them to make right decisions. So with this, even me as a parent, think I've learned a lesson, and I need to improve in areas that I've been lacking behind. Thank you so much, and we pray that God should continue helping you. And if there's a way we could be of help to you, we are always there for you. We will support you. Great future and what you want to be.
Amen.
I thank God I'm privileged to be present with in talk with Baredo, and I appreciate the talks. It went well, and I learned a lot. I even remember one of my friends that was brought up by the mother. So this story, the all the discussion here helped me to learn that as a parent we need to understand as our children are growing up, we need to understand and then reason together with them and come up with the good uh, idea that will help their future. And I also thank God for the author. I encourage her to continue. I pray that God should still strengthen her as she is growing up as a young lady to come out with a different idea and wrote many books that will help us to understand and our future. Thank you in Jesus.
Thank you so much, and I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out. If I should pay for you to be on this show, I don't think I have the means, but it was the grace of God that brought all of us together. And thank you for Elizabeth. Thank you for what you are doing, writing book at this age. We want to encourage you that you should keep it up. Continue to write. We have seen people who, even when they are gone, the book they have wrote that they wrote is still impacting generation. So yeah, so you can actually you can actually make an impact with your writing. And like we have all said, continue writing. Keep on keeping on. Write on different things that comes to you. Write. I'm glad that you are always faithful to church. In fact, one of the way that make me to know you was your faithfulness to church. So I want you to keep it up. You have all these. These are your sisters and brothers in the Lord, and these are people that God has brought into your life. So if you need any help, any assistance regarding how you can improve better, I believe that God has already given you more. So continue. And as for talk with Bariledum, is one of the aim of this program is to see how we can educate the public. Me growing up I didn't get, and it was rough. So I want to see how things can change for the little time that I will be on this earth, or for the much time I'll be on this earth. And one of the ways I can do that is to have a talk like this with people who have this experience, that they will come and teach me, and not just me, to teach you that is watching too. So I want you to subscribe. If you've not done that, subscribe. I want to say that again. Subscribe to talk with Bariledo, because there are a lot that you are going to learn. This, as we have talked about parenting, probably the next that we'll be talking on, it should be on marriage. I think I'm talking with some guests that are going to come, that are going to address it. So I want you to stay tuned and remain blessed. Thank you, and God bless you.
I want to thank each and everyone here who supported me for my first story. And also, you that are watching, don't forget to subscribe to Talk with Pauledu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.